Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back for another video. In today's video, I got the new Ender 3 Max Neo. Let's open this thing up, check it out. Alright, 3D printers. You guys know I have a few of them on my little mini farm, but this is actually the first Ender 3 that I actually have. And first and foremost, I want to say a big shout out to pergear.com. They reached out to me and they said, hey, we'd like to send you one of these. And I was like, thank you so much, because, yeah, this is cool. Ender 3. Ender 3s has been around for a while. They're actually a really good printer. Nothing wrong with them. They're very affordable. You can get them in various sizes. And, yeah, I'm actually really excited to actually put this thing to use. Along with the printer, Pergear actually sent me a roll of matte gray filament, which I'm very excited for this as well because I've never printed anything in matte gray, so that'll be really cool. And they also sent me a flex plate. I've yet to use flex plates. I have seen them, I've thought about them, but yeah, this is really, really cool as well. So once again, Pergear, thank you so much. I'll definitely put links to all the information in the description of the video, links to websites and where you can pick up your own Ender 3 Max Neo. Just to let you know, a little bit of the techno stuff on this thing. The Ender 3 Max Neo is basically a 300 by 300 by 320 millimeter print surface or print area. It does come with CR Touch, which is really, really cool. Dual Z-axis. Also has power loss recovery, which, you know, that's a great thing. If you have your power blip, you can actually resume your prints, which is very, very cool. And it also has an upgraded metal extruder in this one. So yeah, we got to get this thing opened up and take a look at it. So I'll tell you what, yeah, let's do it. All right, got it out of the box. And like I said, this one's a little different than, you know, my CR10s, my artilleries. This one actually, the gantry is wired up to the actual bed. Typically it's a couple little plugs, but no big deal, no problem there. I did notice that I will have to do some adjustments on the print head, but I don't think this is the tools that I thought it was. I think this is the, is this the, okay, it is tools. So we got tools, got the power cord, got the micro with the micro USB, got the gantry screws, got some extra nozzles, which is really, really nice. And we got a little spanner tool right there. So let's take a look at this thing. This is the front for sure, but I'm also need the control panel. So it is right here. Voila, control panel. So this is cool. I'm actually really excited to use the Ender because its controls is with this knob. So there's some. It seems like it may be a little quicker. I don't know. So we're gonna find out for sure. But first things first, we need the power. Need these. Don't need the nozzles yet. Don't need the micro yet. We will need some of these. What do we got in here? Let's see. We got the nozzle cleaner. This is actually really, really nice. Help to really clean out some of your nozzles. The tips, you can run it up and clean those out. Zip ties. Snips. Oh, you can't have too many of these. I've actually wore out a couple of pair of these because I've used them so much. So yeah, that's a must right there. As far as Allen wrenches go, You have a wide variety of those. Pretty much anything you can need to work on the printers here. A little flathead screwdriver, a couple of wrenches. So yeah. But first things first, we got to get the Allen wrench for the screws. So let's get those out. Nope. There it is right there. Boom. Alright, so for now, the rest of the tools, we're just going to put back in the bag for now, just so I don't lose them. Get the instructions out. And let's put this thing together. Got the nice little Creality qualified certificate right there. So yeah, I'm really interested. We've got the warranty. Got to fill that out, get that sent in. Very, very important to get your warranty information on the printers, because I've actually had to deal with Creality in the past, and they're really, really good. But having the warranty figured out, filled out is key. And you guys know me, when I do these videos, I try to go through them and let you see exactly how I do it, and you know, some mistakes along the way. It's part of it. Okay. Oh. All right. So right here now, I do like this. So typically on the Gantrys, on my CR10s, you go up underneath. This one, you screw it in through the side. That is smart. That is very, very smart. Makes life so much easier. All right, so one of the things I want to show you right off the bat when it comes to 3D printers, once I get the Gantry on, that is. Let's get that in there. All right, got it on there. So, like I was saying earlier, it is a very, very snug fit. What I actually had to do was basically line it up and then just put a little bit of pressure, actually a lot of pressure, for it to just seat. And once it's seated, it dropped down, no issues whatsoever. Now we can start getting this thing bolted together. Still may need to do a little bit of maneuvering, but I do recommend a good flat surface when you're doing this. But I'm a big fan already of these side bolts. The side bolts they're legit cool. That makes things so much easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hand tighten these things up. Get the other ones. Get this moved over. You don't want to you don't want to tighten everything up all together. You want to alternate. So yeah, just start off hand tightening everything, and then we'll go from there. So far, I'm really impressed with this thing. The extruder, the upgraded extruder, looks really similar to what I have on the CR10s. It is different. It does have a little bit of a difference to it, but nothing crazy. So I am very familiar with that. One of the things on this particular printer that sets it apart, you actually have these belt tensioning knobs, which is a nice touch, a very nice touch. All right, got it all, got the gantry and everything screwed down. Very few electrical connections. You actually have one right here for the stepper motors. Make sure that I got that turned properly. Got another one over here, which is very, very, very nice. That's the one thing I love about the 3D printers. Regardless of the one that you get, they have very simplistic electrical connections. In other words, it makes it a lot easier. There we go, got that in. We do have some wiring up here that we'll probably clean up. And then the only other electrical outlet, or I say outlet, electrical connection will be for the control panel, which is right here. So I was looking at the control panel, and the instructions has the control panel all put together, but I noticed that it has these little reduction holes. So yeah, I think it'd be easier just to take it off and mount it that way. It does have these T-nuts, which can be a little finicky to use. Ooh, I thought I'd pull out the correct one right off the bat. There we go. So basically, these are going to go into the extruded aluminum right here, and you want to loosen them up enough to where you can rotate them. I like to just barely loosen it, because I don't want it like really. I want the nut to try to stay in place, but you want to turn all the nuts horizontal. And then you're just going to slide it in like so. Ooh, that was pretty easy. Also, this isn't a must. This is my recommendation. 1, 2, 3 blocks. These things are great. So what I'm going to do is I'll just lift this up, put a 1, 2, 3 block right there, and one right there. And that'll give it enough of a height to where I can work on this effectively. So we'll just slide this in like so. I like the fact that it's adjustable. Okay, but as you can see, with the control panel off, this process is so much easier with the control panel off. So got that. I'm gonna move this cord out of the way, but yeah, there you go. Got the bracket on. So not tremendously difficult at all. So and you can lean it up even further, but you know, it's basically your workspace on how you actually approach this. I'm not going to tighten these up tremendously because I want to see how the control panel actually fits. So got the electrical connection on the back of the control panel. Yep, just like that. It's got a little indentation there, so voila. And voila. Boom. Control panel has been installed. I like it. One of the things that I noticed, and this is something that you really need to check with everything. There's one more item to install, and it's the okay. This is cool. Okay, I'm just going to make sure. Yep. Just locks into place, and it looks like it goes on the back side. Slide this bed forward. So it actually slides forward and back, and it actually rotates. But I am curious on the wiring part. So that's something that I'm sure that once I actually get a roll on it, and I'm also thinking that this actually moves, which okay, I'm okay with it, but I'm really curious on the wiring, and once you get a roll on there and the bed starts moving around, so I may have to tweak this a little bit. So, but we'll get to that point here in a minute. I do like the fact that it rotates out of the way. But the one thing I wanted to show you guys that you need to pay attention to with any 3D printer you get. First and foremost, you want to actually move the bed. You want to feel for any kind of restrictions, obstructions, hesitations, or anything like that. But here's the main thing on the head, the actual print head itself. If you notice, mine's really, really loose. And that's not a major thing. It happens. It happens when it comes to printers. Now, what you got to do is you got to find, now, again, this is new to me as far as the Enders go, but on my Creality, my CR10s, the bottom bolt actually is what you turn, and it's got like an oblong to it, and that actually is what will get your nozzle tightened up. So I'm going to take a look. Yep. And you can tell the two on the top are smooth. The nut on the bottom actually has a nut that you can put a wrench to. So what I'm doing is I'm just basically just feeling the nut here. That's a little better. And you just keep turning this until you find that sweet spot to where it's at. All right, everybody, so we're back, and to be perfectly transparent, I actually had to do a little bit more work to the head of this printer than normal. It appears that it had a little bit of a bend where the adjustment nut was, which was causing it not to actually tighten up on the head, on the rail. So I actually had to take the entire head apart. It's not hard, but it was just one of those things that normally you don't have to worry about, but it just goes to prove you have to inspect, you have to look at things before you get really into it to start printing. You have to do your due diligence, you have to look at everything, check all the screws, everything, because let's face it, these things are shipped, and anything can happen during shipping or manufacturing. This is no disparaging words towards Creality or towards Per Gear. This is just things that happen. But I do have the head adjusted. Also, I have already done the leveling process, because since the head had that little bit of a bend, I wanted to really go through that process more. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you the controls to give you a little bit better understanding of how everything works. And then we'll load some filament up and we'll see what happens. All right, so here's your main control panel for the Creality Max Neo. And I'm really liking this thing because of a couple of different things. If you go through, you got your prepare. So basically you got this knob that actually rotates through all the main controls. You got your nozzle temperatures, you got your bed temperatures. You got your Y, X, Y, and Z's. All of this from the main control panel, which is really cool. But if you go to prepare, this is where you can go through and you can do movements. You can actually press and then you can move all of your axes, X, Y, Z. You can disable the stepper motors, which is part of the leveling process. You can do an auto home. This is something that I really, really liked, was this Z offset. And there's actually some really good instructions in here about presetting the Z offset. And that's something that I've never got to experience with my other printers. And that's a really cool feature. You got your preheat, you go to back, go to control. You got your temperatures right here, nozzle, bed, your fan speeds, preheat your PLA settings, preheat ABS settings. You got your motions, your speeds, accelerations, your max corners, which there's a lot of adjustments with this thing that I'm not used to, be perfectly honest. And I find these actually really cool. You got your store configurations, read and reset configurations. Now, right off the bat, that's one of the first things that the manual had me do, was reset the configurations. Then you go to level, and right there it actually goes through the leveling process. It does have 25 points of leveling, which is very, very cool. It has its own sort of like a BL Touch. This one doesn't come down as far as on the Crealities, which is also very cool. While it's actually leveling, check this out. You also have a nice storage for your tools. I like that. And you also have a actual belt tensioning knob here, as well as one right here, which that is very, very nice. So I tell you what, I'm going to let this thing go through the leveling process again, and we'll come back and we'll load some filament up. All right, everybody, we're back. I got filament loaded up, and we're doing a test print. It's the little boat figure, but I wanted to, I still need to go upload and add this printer to my Cura software so I can actually start printing things that I do. But overall, the Ender 3 Max Neo, it's a great little printer. There's lots of features on this thing that I actually do like, and I like these fine-tuning adjustments that are with the control panel. I mean, you have control options like with the CR10s and the artilleries, but I like this where you can really fine-tune it. The manual that comes with it, I actually really like this. Lots of good stuff in it. It's very, very simplistic. It's easy to understand. It doesn't really give you any gray areas. And I wanted to end this with this running and printing because I actually wanted you to hear it and see for yourself. Let's see here. Let me look back. I actually had it on the... So basically, another thing I like about this, when you actually go into the print, you have a tune option, and the tune option allows you to adjust temperature, speed, bed temperature, fans, everything. You can adjust your Z-axis, so you can really fine-tune the print as it's working. That's an awesome feature for these. You also have your pause and stop. But yeah, this is nice. I dig it. Big shout out to Pergear. Thank you so much for reaching out to me and allowing me to do a video on this printer. I can't thank you enough. I'll definitely make sure and leave all the links and everything for them in the description of the video. And it's not just 3D printers. They have camera gear. They have tons of other things. So definitely check out pergear.com and see if there's anything there that you could use for yourself. But if you're looking for a printer, the Ender printers, I've heard a lot of good things about them, but this being my first and actually hands-on setting it up, I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm not 100% sure I like the spool option. You can move it, which is nice. So I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about it yet. And the only way to know is to run it through and see how it works. In other words, there's all kinds of options when it comes to how you hold your filament. Speaking of filament, one thing I want to talk about also, I've never used any of Creality's filament, so this is going to be really, really fun. It's good. It's good filament. Nothing wrong with it. I think most 3D printers or print people that do 3D printing, they really get to where they like certain brands. I've tried several different brands. I've had good success with several different brands. It's just each brand has its own little tweaks. So that's why I recommend reading the labels on your filament for bed temperatures, nozzle temperatures, and things like that. And depending on your area, humidity, and where you have your printers, it's going to be different from everybody's what I'm saying. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about the Ender. Again, I'll be joining some Facebook groups for Ender printers and learning more about those. But yeah, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll definitely be posting more and more things, some YouTube shorts and things on Instagram and everything else as far as this printer, what I do with it. I'm definitely going to have some fun with it. So, yeah, we're done, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Also, if this is your first time to my channel, do me a favor. Consider hitting that subscribe button If you do subscribe, make sure you got notifications turned on. That way you'll know when I drop videos, when I do live streams, or anything else related to my channel. Also, check out all my social media links. They're in the descriptions as well. And as always, please remember, 3D printing will refresh your soul. And I'll see you next time.